When you buy the paint, also make sure that it is written here.
And if you do this, you can save a lot of money, around $500 throughout the house. I'm not gonna paint the whole wall of the houses. I'm just gonna paint on a very small areas where there is pigmentation or discoloration. Now, the purpose of the DIY is to fix it before it can become unfixable. So if you are not taking care of the paint, then you would have to repaint the whole wall or the whole house. Um, in a very short period of time. But if you are following this process and fixing any discoloration or any pigmentation, then you can do this DIY, and then you would have to paint over the walls of the house only after a few years have passed. Now, as you can see, this one is a different color pigmentation. Someone has put a color over here, and this is the discoloration. The paint has chipped off. Okay, and over here, now what we are going to do is we are going to paint over it. Usually for a paint you require a primer and a paint, but this one is a extra white paint. For this you just require a paint with a primer. And to talk about the house, this is a linear construction, new construction house, about 3 years old. And whenever there is a chipping of the paint or discoloration, I just paint it over with this primer with paint. So this is called as Proma 200. I got it from Sherwin Williams. It is flat and extra white. This has primer and as well as paint. So what you're going to do is just paint this paint plus primer over this discoloration or pigmentation, and after the paint has dried, it will blend in the surrounding area, and it will never appear as if you have painted over any discoloration. So when you have painted, when the paint is wet, it might look a bit odd, but after it has dried, it will blend in, and you cannot figure out where you have painted. So this is the beauty of DIY, and let's get started.
When you buy the paint, also make sure that it is written here, may be tinted or used as packaged. So used as packaged, what it means is this paint is already tinted and no need to add tint, you can directly use from the package. Now if this is not written used as packaged, there would be some warning over on the back side that mentions that this particular paints need to be tinted before use. But whenever you are buying like extra white, and if you just want to use it as is directly from the package, then make sure that it is written as used as packaged.
Let's talk about brushes. Usually for the painting job you need brushes of at least 3-inch width and 3-inch height. So basically this one, the bristles 3-inch height and 3-inch width. But now since I'm only covering the portions which are pigmented and have different colorations, I'm using the brush sets which are available with me right now instead of buying a new one. So these are like angle brush sets. Usually these are used for trim work, but I'm going to use them on the patches. Let's take a look. So first of all, make sure that you cover the floor so that the paint particles do not fall onto the floor, because it's another hassle. Now when it is DIY, you need to make sure that you are not spilling a lot of things. Okay, and here is where you are going to so as you can see, this is covering the portion of pigmentation very nicely. Now this is just one coat. You can do 3 coatings like this. So first of all you do one coat, let it dry, then apply for a second coat, then apply for a third coat. In this way you will be able to cover this particular pigmentation and any spots that have some issues. For example, even here, and I'm using the exact color code, and also these are like patching activity. And if you do this, you can save a lot of money, around $500 throughout the house. A different angle, this is how the wet paint looks like. Okay, but once it dries, it blends in with the old paint, and it will not look this visible. I will show you when I'm doing second, third coating, and also after it dries up. The tip is, whenever you are applying the paint, first of all you need to make sure that it is not dust. If it is dust, you need to dust it off basically. And yeah, be careful while you are dusting off. You can use a dry cloth and cover the floor with any sort of cloths or any sort of material so that the paint does not fall on the floor. These are two precaution tips. And also, precaution tip for paint is, now the paint is falling down, you need to, that is, remove the excess paint. And the paint is actually applied from the inside bristles. So apply. This is first coating. As I mentioned, I am going to apply 3 coatings, and each coating needs to be dried before you apply the next coating. Remember not to brush over the dust. Now, as you can see on this trim, there is a dust. I'm not going to paint over the dust as it is. You need to first wipe the dust off and then apply the paint. Our first coat has dried up, so as you can see it in any angle, it looks completely natural. It does not look as if we have painted another patch on top of it. Yes, definitely, the spot that was there, it is a little visible, but after second and third coat, it should not be visible. But it does not look that we are doing patching work. So here also, if you remember, on the bottom we did some painting, and that is also not visible. Looking at any angle, it does not look like we have painted. Now even here we did paint. Now if you look in different angles, it does not look like we have painted. Of course, this is still visible after
second and third rounds of applying the paint, it should not be visible. So the patchwork does not look as if we have done any patchwork. So this is good news. This means that the color code that we have selected in order to paint our drywall is the exact color of the drywall. And this is how the paint patching is done. I hope you like this video. If you like this, please subscribe to our channel and like this video.